Welcome back to K-Astrology, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Kaylin, and today I'm going to be doing your February 2021 horoscope. I also do monthly tarot predictions for all 12 zodiac signs, along with pick a card readings. If you'd like to see more content from me, please subscribe to K-Astrology. Now, I'm going to leave timestamps in the description box below, so please feel free to jump straight to your sign. For those of you who are sticking around, I'm going to quickly run through your sun, moon, and rising sign horoscopes and how they differ, okay? Your rising sign, otherwise known as your ascendant sign, will always be the most overall accurate horoscope for you. It does not matter how much you identify with that rising sign, okay? You could be an Aries rising, but you're a Cancer sun and you feel more like a Cancer. That's fine. The Aries rising horoscope will be the most accurate for you. Now, with your sun horoscope, this will pertain to your conscious will and your career and any goals and ambitions that you have. Your moon sign will be in relation to, your moon sign horoscope will be in relation to all relationships in your life, your emotional state, and your living circumstances. As I said, the rising sign will be the most accurate and will encompass all of those aforementioned things. Anyway, guys, thanks for sticking around for this intro. You can now head to your timestamp in the description box below. Hi Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Risings. Welcome to your February 2021 horoscope. The month starts off with Mercury being retrograde in your 12th house in the sign of Aquarius. Mercury will be retrograde there from the 31st of January through to the 21st of February. With Mercury transiting your 12th house, you will start rethinking and re-evaluating the following areas in your life: spiritual, psychological, creativity, travel, and any addictions and fears that you may have. Now, just remember, Pisces, that this is a general reading, so some or more of the following may pertain to you. If it doesn't, just take what resonates and leave what does not. Now, on a spiritual level, you may decide that you want to get another reading from an astrologer, a tarot reader, or a clairvoyant that you've already seen before. You might even be reconsidering your beliefs around spirituality as a whole. With Mercury being retrograde, we start thinking about things in a completely new and different way, and it can be very illuminating, especially in the 12th house. It can kind of shift any creative blockages and really draw your attention to things which may have been limiting you in your daily life and how you approach areas of your life. Now, you may decide that you want to start meditating again or recommence your yoga practice. Or if you bought tarot cards and you've only used them a couple of times or it's been a while, you might decide that you want to take that up again. Now, on a psychological level, if you were seeing a psychologist or a therapist, you may decide during this period that you want to recommence your sessions with this therapist. You can certainly start thinking very deeply about your psychological state, and maybe some repressed memories could be bubbling back to the surface at this time, or even something from a past life could be revealed to you. On a creative level, if you're a musician or an artist of any sort, any creative idea which you had before and you tabled, you can now pull that out and start looking at how you can work on this or explore this idea further. It's always a great period of time for any kind of artistic person or artistic endeavor as a whole. Now, on the travel front, if you live abroad currently, with Mercury being retrograde, you may decide that you want to relocate back home. If you don't live abroad, you may now be considering traveling or living in a foreign country. And this is a country which will be like a culture shock for you, something which is so different from where you were born and raised. That's the kind of country that is represented by the 12th house. Now, on a completely different level, Pisces, with addictions and fears, you may be able to kick an addiction that you have by seeing things from a totally different point of view. Maybe you're now able to understand the root cause of a phobia or a fear that you have. And because you understand the root cause, you're able to confront it, address it, purge it, and even release it for good. Maybe you're finally getting over a fear or a phobia which you've had for many, many years, and you've never known why you've had it, but all you know is that now you just see things in a different light, on a completely different level, and a very serious level at that. If you were an addict of any sort, if you had any kind of addiction, and you've been sober for many months or even many, many years, I just want to let you know that this may be a very tempting period of time for you, Pisces. So just make sure that you have the right support systems around you, that your counselor or a close friend who is aware of your situation is on call and able to assist you at the drop of a hat. Because with Mercury being retrograde, it can dredge things up or make us start, engaging in behaviors or patterns that we haven't done for quite a long time. So I just wanted to make you aware of it so that you know that the next 3 weeks could potentially be challenging. That's not for all Pisces, certainly not all of you who have had issues with addiction will find this period to be challenging, but just in case it is, you can now take the appropriate precautions. Now, on a completely different level, on a lighter note, we have Venus entering Aquarius in your 12th house on the 2nd of February. So with Venus here, you can enjoy meditation, you can enjoy yoga or anything of a spiritual nature, or you could simply be enjoying losing yourself in your creative pursuits, whether that's art or music or photography, or even simply spending time by yourself. Now, on the 12th of February, there will be a new moon in Aquarius in your 12th house at 23 degrees. So new moons indicate new beginnings and new chapters in some area of our life. And with regard to your 12th house, or the 12th house in your personal birth chart, we can see a lot of Pisces starting to see a psychologist or a therapist for the first time, or you could simply be seeing a new psychologist or therapist for the first time. If you have been interested in getting some kind of reading done by anyone who's in the occult or spiritual industry, you might be doing this for the first time, whether that's getting an astrology reading, a tarot reading, a Reiki reading, or even seeing a psychic or having a past life reading. And some of you Pisces, sun, moon and risings, with this new moon in Aquarius, you can certainly embark on a spiritual awakening, or you can have a huge psychological breakthrough. And with new moons, this is really about planting the seeds over the next 4 months, but you may not see the culmination of this take place until the full moon in Aquarius in 6 months' time, or even the following full moon in Aquarius in 18 months' time. On a totally different note, with travel, you might be planting the seeds to relocate to a foreign country, or you could be starting some kind of creative project or pursuit with regard to music, writing, art, photography, or filmography. And it can certainly be any kind of other artistic endeavor. It doesn't need to be those aforementioned things. Now, on the 18th of February, we will see the biggest astrological event of 2021 take place, and that is the Saturn square Uranus transit. Now, Saturn in Aquarius will be squaring Uranus in Taurus 3 times in 2021. The first time, of course, is on the 18th of February. The second time will be on June 15th. And the third and final time that this transit will hit will be on the 24th of December. So this transit is really one of a rather shocking and electrifying nature, and that's because Uranus represents anything which is new and shocking, and also sudden change and swift upheavals, and Saturn likes structure and solid foundations. So you could say that these two planets are polar opposite in nature. So this is really a square between your 12th house and your 3rd house. So I'll go through a few different ways that this can manifest for you, Pisces, just bearing in mind that this is a general reading and not all of these will apply to you. On one level, and perhaps the most obvious level, this is almost like a battle between your spirituality and your psychological self versus your conscious mind and mentality. Okay, so some of you will be tearing down barriers and blockages in your 12th house with Saturn, which blocks and creates obstacles and challenges in the subconscious mind and self in the 12th house. You are now maybe even using radical means of spirituality and occult measures or psychological measures to stabilize your mind, to wrap your head around certain things, to come to terms with, why you have certain fears, phobias, or even addictions or self-limiting behavior and beliefs. The 12th house is really about the ways in which we self-sabotage, and the 12th house is already connected to Pisces. So, an indulgence or an overindulgence in any kind of self-medication, addiction, forms of escapism can really be tackled by you realizing that, you just can't keep going on in this way. And that's the breakthrough with Uranus being in your 3rd house. On a different note, you may go on some kind of spiritual retreat. And the way in which this is shocking is that your friends, your colleagues, or your siblings and extended relatives might be like, well, this is really out there and strange. What are you doing this for? And although it makes total sense to you, people in your life and in your daily surroundings may not understand your reasons for taking such drastic measures. And of course, they're only drastic in the eyes of those around you. On a totally different level, you may actually experience some kind of psychological breakdown or even a nervous breakdown, okay? This is another serious topic. I was debating whether to include it in this reading. Just bear in mind, once again, it is a general reading. Some of you Pisces suns, moons, and risings might be wanting to isolate from family and friends and siblings. And this can be because you're going through some kind of psychological turmoil, and this can manifest as a nervous breakdown, okay? Completely shutting down. And if you are starting to feel that way, of course, it is advisable and best that you seek professional help, and that's with regard to your mental health, your physical health, and telling a loved one that you're starting to feel this way. And certainly, try and avoid any kind of self-medicating behaviors and tendencies, and replace them with, speaking to trusted loved ones and those who support you. Now, this can play out in several other different ways, the Saturn square Uranus transit. Some of you may simply be wanting to leave the corporate world and pursue a more spiritual path in life. Once again, the shocking element in this situation is that you may have built a very long-standing career which is rooted in the corporate world or business dealings or sales or marketing or social media or whatever, and you're just having a sudden change of heart and change of direction and course for your life. Now, for you Pisces sun, moons, and risings who are quite creative, you could be turning your creative projects into your own business. That's another exciting way that this can play out. And this can also affect you with regard to travel, which is shown by the 12th house, and courses and education, okay? Some of you may be at a crossroads regarding traveling abroad and your studies and your education. With foreign travel being represented by the 12th house, together with some kind of subconscious fear or phobia, you may be struggling with self-sabotaging behaviors when it comes to wanting to travel, or it could even be with regard to wanting to start new courses and new forms of education. There could be unexpected developments that force you to travel abroad, or if you are already living abroad, not in your home country, You may have some kind of event which occurs, which is sudden and out of the blue, which forces you to come back home. Now, also on the 18th of February, Pisces season will commence, and this is your time to shine, Pisces. The sun is in your sign, the sun is in your first house. You will be glowing, you will be more radiant, you may be in the spotlight or the limelight for some reason. Certainly people will be taking more notice of you, Pisces, and you will just feel a lot more confident and a lot more attractive. Now on the 21st of February, Mercury will station direct, and this will be in your 12th house. So this new mentality towards your psychological state, or this new appreciation for spirituality, can really take root, and you can start seeing the positive effects that this Mercury retrograde period has had on you. On the 26th of February, Venus will enter Pisces. Again, this is in your first house. It's now together with the sun. So you will be feeling more attractive than ever, more beautiful than ever. You will be more charismatic. You will come across as more diplomatic, okay, more charming to people that you encounter. And perhaps some of you may start investing in some new luxury items, getting a new hairstyle, a facial, doing things which make you feel more confident and which make you feel more attractive and beautiful. Now, lastly, Pisces, we have a full moon in Virgo, and this is on the 27th of February. And this will actually be in your 7th house, okay? This is in your sister sign or your opposite sign. So with the full moon being in your 7th house of relationships, if you are already in a relationship, your partner may be closing the door of some kind of chapter in their life, or some kind of cycle that they've been going through comes to completion, because the full moons always indicate chapters coming to an end and cycles being complete. On a different level, some of you Pisces may be walking away from a relationship, okay? That's especially if you have your Pisces sun, moon, or rising at 8 degrees, all right? Or even, 6 or 10 degrees. And this won't be all Pisces, even if you have your Pisces rising at 8 degrees, if you're in a solid relationship, it's not going to end, okay? Full moons can also indicate that you may be ending a contract with a certain client. Maybe you end up walking away from a friendship or letting it naturally fizzle out, one that's no longer serving you. In any case, Pisces, this full moon can also be a really positive thing for you. If something is leaving your life, it's really making space for something new to enter it. So Pisces, that's all I have for you for the month of February 2021. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more content from me at K-Astrology, please subscribe to my channel. Enjoy your February 2021, and I'll see you guys next month.